Hey Fragrance family, David here with the Fragrance Bros again, bringing you another one in the series on best and worst. Today we're going to be talking about the best, and this one is what I think is the best, and you'll see what is worst in the next episode. Now, of course, quick disclaimer here, if you love or hate either one of these, no problem. Feel free to disagree down in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think either of these are like, or what you think are the best or the worst from Dior. Now with Dior, Dior has a ton of fragrances, a ton of really good fragrances, and of course some really bad ones. So there's going to be some that I left out that maybe really are deserving of the best or the worst. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. But today we're going to be talking about the best, and this is what I think is the best from Dior. This one is Ombre Nuit in the Privé collection, or now it's called the Dior collection, I don't really know what it's called, but this one is like their more exclusive, more boutique versions in the Dior boutiques you can only find there. Dior boutiques are kind of specialized Dior stores. They only have them in certain locations. I know there's one in Las Vegas, New York. I mean, you get these in big cities. You can't find these everywhere. There's definitely not one where I live here. And Dior created a special line of fragrances for these Dior boutiques called the Privé collection, which came out in 2004 with 3 fragrances at first. It was Bois d'Argent, Cologne Blanche, and Eau Noire. And of those 3, I think Cologne Blanche and Bois d'Argent are still in the collection today, but Eau Noire got discontinued. And then they relaunched the line, calling it something else and adding a whole bunch of other fragrances that are really cool. Ombre Nuit is still in the private collection that Dior has, and I think it's relatively unchanged, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The notes in this are bergamot, grapefruit, damask rose, pink pepper, ambergris, guaiac wood, cedar, and patchouli. And those are the notes from Fragrantica and on the older version of it. And on their website, on the Dior website, I believe they only show a couple of different notes on there. I think it's amber or ambergris, pink pepper, and rose are the main notes. And really, that's what I get mostly out of this. The reason I think this is the most amazing fragrance from Dior is because it's really unique, really thick. It's beautifully made. There is like this sheer quality whenever you wear it that is beautiful, and it does have rose in it, which I'm not really a fan of rose normally, but the rose in this is really great. There is that spicy quality from the pink pepper that is tuned perfectly, and then there's a bunch of ambergris in here, and the name of this is really kind of confusing because it is more ambergris and not amber. So amber and ambergris kind of get confused a lot, mostly because of the history and the nomenclature for surrounding amber and ambergris. They were kind of confused historically. So ambergris, gray amber, and amber are not the same thing. And then to make it even more confusing, there's a whole kind of genre of amber fragrances that go anywhere from vanilla to sappy to anything in between. Essentially, this is more ambergris and not as incensey and not as resinous as typical amber fragrances are. I think a lot of people will describe this fragrance as sophisticated or really dressy, really beautiful, very expensive, and I get all of those things. I think all of those things are correct. It's such a unique fragrance and does smell expensive and rich. It hangs on forever. It lasts easily 12 hours, pushes out a really good deal, and I love it. And as I mentioned, the 3 notes that I get are ambergris, pink peppercorn, and rose mostly. Occasionally, I will pick up a little bit of that patchouli or maybe a little bit of the citrus, but those are really the 3 main players of the scent. This is a beautiful scent. There's really not that many fragrances that smell like this, and there is a version of this that they still sell in the Dior boutiques for the private collection that they currently have. I don't know if it's exactly the same though. I think it probably is. I smelled it briefly and it smelled very similar. I don't know if it's as strong as it originally was, but I am getting kind of low on this. There's still probably 50 mils left in this. This is the larger bottle, but whenever this runs out, I'll be kind of sad, but I will try the new one just out of solidarity of this fragrance because I love it so much. It is absolutely gorgeous, well worth the price. Even though it is an expensive fragrance, this I think is Dior's best. It is incredible. But I would love to know what you think. What is Dior's best in your opinion? And have you tried Ombre Nuit? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts.
With that, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Fragrance X. Fragrance X is an online reseller that sells thousands of legitimate products for a discounted cost. If you're considering buying a fragrance, definitely check out Fragrance X. I'll have a link down below to them as well as a coupon. But also check out Rakuten.com. Rakuten.com is a website that offers you a rebate with every purchase that you make through their website. They actually have a deal with Fragrance X that offers you a certain percentage in rebates just by buying through Rakuten. So I'll have a link down below to them as well. Definitely check out Fragrance X and Rakuten together. Great.
Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave with the Fragrance Bros. Bye.